What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and I waited to put out a video until today because I wanted to come here with good news. I wanted to come here with news that talks about Kyle Schwarber possibly getting re-signed or what the details of the new CBA are. But unfortunately, I am here to tell you guys that the MLB has decided that they are going to cancel the first two series of the year. I had tickets to opening day, and it really sucks because I was looking forward to that since the day they lost their last game in the ALCS. This team is special, and we are going to lose some of that in 2022 officially. So what I want to do today is I want to talk about what this lockout means to us as fans from a Red Sox perspective, but really as a baseball fan perspective in general. I'm going to go over what went wrong, what their last deals look like, and then I'm going to go on a bit of a rant. So if you don't want to listen to that, just stay for the final details so at least you know what's going on. Sorry if this video ends up being a little bit lengthy, but I just need to get this stuff off my chest. If you enjoyed today's video or if you enjoy the content in general, do me a favor, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Also make sure you guys hit that like button as well. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's look at the numbers at this thing. There was a 10-day everyday meeting thing that happened in Jupiter, Florida, and at the last 2 days it seemed like everyone finally started actually negotiating, and this is where the two sides ended up differing the most. The first is the competitive balance tax. The owners refuse to increase it, and the players want to increase it by a pretty substantial margin. This would allow teams to spend more on players that deserve to be paid more, and it also allows them to spend more money and get better players on their team and make the league more competitive. The argument against it from the owners is that raising it would only allow for big market teams like us, like the Red Sox, to be able to spend more and would cripple the teams that cannot do that. The second piece of this puzzle that was furthest from getting completed was the arbitration pool. A pool dedicated to the top whatever amount of rookies that ended up in the league to allow for younger players to get paid more. The MLB ended up at $30 million, which was very far away from the league's final offer at $85 million. That was something that has always been a bit of a contention between the two sides. Neither side wanted to budge. The union has come down about $50 million and the league has gone up about $10 million. If that doesn't say anything about these negotiations, nothing will. The players were willing to give up $50 million of their original ask. The owners were only willing to give up 10. Now, the last and final thing that they were the furthest apart on was increasing the league minimum. The owners proposed that they up the league minimum to $700,000, with it going up every year by $10,000, and the players wanted it at $725,000, going up $20,000 every year. In my opinion, that isn't a super far gap, and that's probably at some point going to be the next thing resolved. Now that we've got those numbers out of the way, let's talk about how this lockout, how missing games, and honestly how everything that's happening in baseball is going to affect baseball in general, and more specifically the Red Sox, because this is a Red Sox channel at the end of the day. I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm pretty upset about this. To the point where I will stop watching baseball? Probably not, but it's super upsetting. I had tickets to opening day. I was ready to go. I've been wanting to go for months. I've been wanting this. To stay up till 12 o'clock last night, get up at 6 this morning, hoping for baseball news, only to find out that it was all fluff pieces, that it was all a ploy to make it look like the players are the bad guys here, is disgusting. The fact that Robert Manfred in his post-meeting conference was smiling, laughing, and joking, like he didn't just crush the dreams of people like you, people like me, who love this game. It's disgusting to me. And it's going to have lasting impacts on the Red Sox specifically. The first being that with two series canceled, not being made up, not getting pushed to a later date, no, canceled, is going to put the Red Sox at a competitive disadvantage. All of those games were home games. Someone's going to gain more home games, and the Red Sox are going to lose more home games, which for some teams isn't the hugest deal in the world, but for the Red Sox, that's a really big deal. Fenway Park is as intimidating of a baseball stadium to go into as it gets. It's definitely an advantage to players. Look at Evaldi last year, who performed so much better at home as opposed to away. What's going to happen to him throughout this season without those extra probably 2 starts under his belt at the beginning of the season at the place where he's most comfortable? If the Red Sox miss the playoffs by only a couple of games this year, there are going to be a lot of storylines, including probably on this channel, about how if they had had those extra 6-7 games at Fenway Park, this would be a whole different narrative. MLB is setting themselves up for stories like that all around the league and for failure for this entire season. Another implication of the lockout for the Red Sox is, as fans, we lose out on one of my favorite and probably your favorite 2 parts of the baseball season. And those are those storylines that underline almost every game, right? The Rafael Devers extension rumors, the Xander Bogaerts extension rumors, the JD Martinez trade rumors, who's going to take over in right field, who are we bringing up, who are we putting down. There's so many stories that go on for the first couple of weeks and a couple of months in the season, and it's looking like right now we're losing that at least until mid-April. That's a long time. People lose interest. There are other sports, there are other things to do, and yes, us as diehards aren't going anywhere, but there are a lot of people who will. This isn't much of a problem for the Red Sox, because I think there will be enough people where this won't impact them a lot, but even for a team like the Red Sox, who has this die-hard fan base, who's willing to tattoo their logo on their bodies, there are going to be people who refuse to spend money at MLB parks or anything related to the MLB. That's going to hurt the owners, and it's going to hurt us as fans. Remember the 2021 any of the 2021 postseason games? That was some of the most electric stuff I've ever seen at Fenway Park or been a part of. It made me want to get up and watch every single second of every single game. And who knows, maybe it does look like that this year, but chances are at the beginning of the year, it won't. Opening day is a very special day in Boston. I love going down during opening day, and I love being at Fenway Park during opening day. Those first couple series at Fenway, you can feel something in the air. It's like Fenway Park wakes up and becomes alive again. You're missing that for the first couple of games, and I don't know if we'll be able to feel that again for an opening day that starts 20, 30 games into a season. That sucks a lot for us, for you, for me. Who knows how long this lockout's going to go on for? And honestly, in my opinion, I don't think we're only going to miss the first 2 series of this year. I think we're going to miss at least a month. Both sides are at a stalemate. And honestly, I 100% blame the owners. The owners are trying to screw over the players as much as they possibly can. But at the same time, both sides need to just sit down and not leave the room until a deal is agreed upon. I don't care if you are fighting to death in there. I don't care if it's Rob Manfred taking 100 pitches from Max Scherzer, and if he hits one out of the infield, the player sign. There are a million different things that you could do. Don't delay and take away the game from the people who love it the most, because it's not the owners. The billionaire owners who are using baseball as an investment for their fortunes only care about the dollar sign. They didn't grow up and spend 20 years of their lives dedicating every second of it to be able to play in the most competitive league in all of sports. They didn't have a lineage of fandom passed down from generation to generation. They didn't hear stories of their grandparents and their grandfathers or grandmothers fighting their way into Fenway Park to see some of the greatest Ted Williams, Dom DiMaggio, all these great, fantastic players. You didn't hear stories of moms and dads sneaking into Fenway Park to see Jim Rice or Carlton Fisk or players like that. They see this as a dollar sign. At the end of the day, the people that suffer the most are the people that care the most about this game. Sometimes I really hate loving baseball as much as I do, but I want to know what you guys think down below. Am I wrong? Am I right? Do you think the owners are to blame? Do you think the players are to blame? Personally, I think it's a little bit of both at this point. Just figure it out for the sake of the people that love it the most. Let me know all your thoughts on this topic down below. And I would love to hear what you guys think about this whole thing in general. Do you think we're going to miss more games? Do you think not? Are you done with baseball? Are you coming back? Let me know everything down below. As always, if you've made it to the end of this video, do me a favor and make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button. You clearly enjoy the content, and it would mean a whole lot to me. I'll thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the next one.